Hello, welcome to CLSP Politics. Sean Briscoe speaking. So today we're going to talk about Minnesota. Well, it's an interesting state. As you can see, the red isn't even all that red. There's a lot of white blotchy parts. Those are all 50-50 counties. The blue stuff is very, very blue, and highly, high density. It's where the cities are. But even where the cities aren't, it's really kind of a hodgepodge mix of both Republican and Democratic voters. Demographically speaking, yeah, cities are diverse, but outside that, not so much. It's Minnesota. Let's be clear. All right, real quick. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I've gotten a ton of new subscribers to this channel. Just want to say hello and welcome and thank you. I pretty much do a show almost every day, and it takes a ton of work. So if you're interested in supporting this channel, you go to my YouTube and there's a PayPal, or you can go to my Substack and you can just become a paid member of my Substack subscription. It's like $5 a month. All right, that's my spiel. Also, there's a QR code because my friend told me you got to put a QR code on your thing. I'm like, all right. So anyway, I'm gonna blow this up a little bit because we got quite a few candidates here. What we're looking at really is we've only got like 3 Democrats and just an ocean of Republicans running, which is really weird because this is not a red state. And then when I kind of dug around the money, well, Angie Craig is sitting at 2.9 million. And then another Democrat, Peggy Flanagan, has raised almost 900. I mean, it should be over 1 million by now because of this is all September reporting. So they've had a few months to, get it all figured out. And if you look at the Republicans, there are 2 that are in the 6-digit world, Adam Schwartz and Royce White. But even if you add up all the money that's been raised, it doesn't even add up to a fraction of what the Democrats have raised. And there's a reason for that. This seat is heavy Democrat. The Democrat candidate should win by 15 solid points. It could be as high as 20 this cycle. A couple of things that I ran into when I was doing my research as far as like where they think the polling is and stuff. Just not a lot of polling yet. So what I have to do is I have to look at consumer index and just some general polling on certain issues that I know are going to impact Minnesota, like the tariffs in Canada. Oh, they pull in this approval ratings like in the low single. Like I don't even think they could find a Republican that approved of the tariffs on Canada in Minnesota. So it's not polling so great. Also, Minnesota does have some agriculture, and that definitely got hit. And of course, they have the same ACA hospital issues that every other state has. And honestly, I think those are going to be the 3 big ones. Because what I'm looking at is what's going to affect that rural vote, right? That's the vote that the Republicans absolutely have to nail. They have to have them turn out at 100%. Any less than that, and they're SOL. So that's the one I'm looking at. So when I look at the polling at some of these states, I look at where is the Republican base and how are they feeling today? And they aren't feeling that great. So that's going to impact the turnout. There could be some switch voting. And I talk about switch voting on my other videos. This is a while ago. I should probably do that one again as we get closer to the primary election cycle, because switch voting is interesting. So like if it starts out 1-1, right? 1 Democrat, 1 Republican. If this Republican doesn't vote, this turns into 2 Democrats, right? If this Republican votes Democrat, it doesn't turn into 2 votes, it turns into 3 votes because it's a vote the Republicans lost and they have to find again. So you get that one. And then it's a vote that actually goes over to the Democrats. So the way the math works out, because you're always running against the other column, it's a vote they were counting on, right? This is a Republican voter. if they switch over, they're worth 3 votes. It's incredible. So, because it's just not a vote that we were counting on. So that's the important. That's why if you even like a 4 or 5% shift is worth 10 points at least. Sometimes more than that, much more than that. So you could see how if there's a like with this Epstein stuff, which I think the diehard Trumpers are going to find a way to gymnastic their brain around that. But the other Republicans, and did a poll the other couple weeks ago, the Republicans used to, like when they would poll Republicans, you had to identify as GOP or MAGA. Uh, right after the election, it was like 60% of Republicans identify as MAGA. Now it's down to 45. So these guys are if they view the Republican candidate as MAGA, that might hurt the Republican with the Republican vote, which sounds really weird. But I mean, if they don't vote MAGA anymore, they vote Republican and they view a candidate as MAGA, the one that gets through their primary, they either might not vote, right? Might not vote, or they vote for us. So that's kind of the math on that. So Minnesota is not a state that we needed to, rely upon that math because it's already a D plus 15. But there are a lot of other states out there, Texas being one of them. I mean, I'm about to do Oklahoma here in a few days. That state's way more diverse than people even pretend it is. I mean, if I didn't know what Oklahoma was in their voting history and I just looked at their demographics, I'd be like, wow, that must be a battleground state. There's just a bunch of states out there, right, that I think are about to break out of a lot of molds that they're real comfortable being in. And mostly because of economic stress. 2026 can be a little rough. And and that's not what the Republicans need. So, all right. I'm pretty sure that's kind of everything I wanted to say about that. So just want to say Happy New Year. We got a New Year's show. Micho, my cat, which is named Micho, Micho, is will be coming back on the show for my New Year's show. So keep an eye out for that. And I hope everyone stays safe and had a great Christmas. All right. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.